So for our latest walk, we're in Wigan. We're just stood outside Wigan North Western Station, and Wigan Walgate Station is just on the other side of the road there. We're using this as our start and finish point for our latest Wonder Years walk. And today we are literally taking the road to Wigan Pier. So we're just literally walking down the main road away from the stations. If you come under the bridge actually carries the West Coast Main Line. There's a couple of sets of traffic lights that you've just got to cross. But this is the main road into and out of Wigan. Okay, so we've reached our first point where we need to just come away from the main road now and walk past Trenchfield Mill, which is a fantastic building behind me. We're going to go past the front of the mill. There's a couple of interesting things you can take photographs of here. We'll find our way onto the canal, and then it's the canal all the way right through Wigan Pier and onto our final destination, the DW Stadium. So you can carry on walking just past the mill. You carry on with the path, and eventually you come to one of the many locks here. You have boats in it. What we need to do then is just turn right, and you'll come onto the main Leeds-Liverpool canal. So we've actually reached the Leeds-Liverpool canal. When you come to the canal, you turn right, and then we start to follow it. There's another couple of bridges that we've got to go under, and then we reach the first point on today's walk. We've been walking a couple of minutes along the side of the Leeds-Liverpool canal. You come to your first bridge, which is the road bridge, which is carrying the road we were walking along previously from the station. Then you just go underneath a couple of arches. We need to get onto the other side of the canal, because that over there is where we're actually heading towards. It's quite interesting because this whole area is what most people think of as Wigan Pier, and I suppose it is really. It's called the Wigan Pier Quarter. It used to be a nightclub that's no longer there, called the Pier, and this is the site of the pier itself. Now we're going to walk down the side of the canal to the actual pier. And it's one of those things that sometimes people are a little bit surprised at what it actually looks like. For something that's got a world famous reputation, some people find it a little bit surprising what it looks like, and a little bit underwhelming, I suppose, really. But it is Wigan Pier, and it served a very important purpose in the development of Wigan as an industrial power. You literally just follow the path up round the corner, take the bridge over the top, and you're right in the middle of where all the mills and industrial units still are, but certainly where all the mills were hundreds or so years ago. Okay, so we are just a few metres away now from the world famous Wigan Pier, and we just turn the camera around. That's it. That bent metal rails, that is Wigan Pier. Basically what they used to do was bring trucks full of coal, used to run it along the rails, and then used to use this mechanism here for tipping it into the barges that went up and down the canal. So we're going to leave Wigan Pier and the surroundings behind us now. We're going to carry on walking along the side of the Leeds-Liverpool canal. We're going to head off to the next stop of a walk, something a little bit more modern than what we've seen there, and that's heading out towards the DW Stadium, which is home of Wigan Athletic Football Club and Wigan Warriors Rugby League Club. So we are now coming up to bridge 49B, which is a footbridge along the canal, and here we're just going to come away from the canal path and take one of the roads back to the DW Stadium itself. So it's actually 3 kilometres from the station to here, the route we took along the canal. It's great because it's not just sports arenas and stadiums and tracks and outdoor tennis courts here. There's also the Robin Park retail park, which has got some coffee shops and things. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a midpoint break and go and get a coffee and a cake, recharge our batteries, and then we'll go back a different route back to the station, like I said, taking in some more sights of Wigan, one of which is another world famous landmark. So we've done around the stadium now. We've nipped and had a cup of coffee and a very nice cake, so we've refueled and we're ready now for the walk back into Wigan. Like I said, there's 2 options. You could go straight back down the canal if you want, or we're going to go a slightly different route through a bit more of a built-up area, a bit more residential, but like I said, it takes you back into the town centre of Wigan, back to the train stations, just in a slightly different way. There's a few more things to photograph along the way as well. So the DW Stadium just behind, and we're coming up now to the footbridge over the canal. This is the path we walked down on the way to the stadium. We're going to go up and across the bridge now. So on the other side of the bridge you come down and you are in the middle of quite a busy industrial estate, a lot of industrial units, heavy industry, and what we'll be doing is we'll be going underneath. If you turn to the left, there's a little walkway right underneath the railway line there. Looks like you're in a dead end, but if you follow the path round you do eventually come through to a walkway. So you walk along the main road, but this is Frog Lane, probably for about 5 to 10 minutes before we turn off it. You are going through some heavily residential areas, but there's always things like this that you can come and take photographs of. But we're going to be turning off it in probably about 200 or 300 metres time. So we've been walking down Frog Lane probably about 5 to 10 minutes now, and you come to a set of traffic lights where Dawning Street meets it. If you hit it on the right day, you can usually smell something really nice down here. Have you ever heard of Uncle Joe's mint balls? The factory where they're made is just literally down the road here. The smell gives it away. We're downwind of it today and it smells absolutely fantastic. So if you come on the right day during the week when they are making the sweets, it really is something to savour. It's Santi's Toffee, home of Uncle Joe's mint balls, and again it's in one of the most innocuous looking buildings you could ever think of. The smell really does give it away. Been going well over 100 years, absolutely traditional manufacturer, and just in case you are in any doubt, the sign on the end of the building there just to confirm that is in fact the home of Uncle Joe's mint balls. So we turn right now, we're heading behind Wigan Parish Church, which is just over there, past the old courts, which is the home of a lot of the new arts programme that Wigan are doing, scene of live music, some great little bars as well. And we're heading back towards Wigan Wallgate station, which is on this side of the road. But that's it there, just in front. So we're back just outside Wigan Wallgate station now. That's the one just behind me. We started off at North Western, which is on the other side of the road there. Like I said, it's about 5 kilometres all round, walking down the canal, past Wigan Pier, out to the DW Stadium, back along Frog Lane, past the world famous Uncle Joe's mint balls, and back to the train station as well. There's loads of little things and little alleyways off, especially in the centre of Wigan. You can get some fantastic atmospheric shots of disused and abandoned buildings, so we'll leave all that for you to explore, but for now, like I said, this is the end of our Wigan walk. And again, if you want to fancy taking it, let us know, or you get on, share your photographs with us. www.marriedwithgrownups.co.uk.